Thomas Edison, guy failed 10,000 light bulbs till he found the one that worked, right? Now, here's a question. So now that Thomas Edison cracked it, does that mean that every other discovery he works on just suddenly works instantly? Does that mean his fingers are now made of gold and so everything he touches just turns into a new breakthrough invention? Nah. Actually, the process is the same thing. 10,000 light bulbs. I've had some of the biggest campaigns in the world, and I would like to say that the 10,000 light bulb analogy is the true analogy, right? It's not like I can just go on and then suddenly print a VSL right away. It actually, at Mindvalley, we made like 32 VSLs. 4 of them did great. 1 of them became the best in the world. So it's still like that for me. I mean, I just want to recap my whole quick story. Like, 4 years of failing 7 businesses in a row, met my mentors, had my first big win, left on my own, went through 8 months where everything I created was kind of crappy and didn't really go anything super big, then cracked one campaign that blew up that became my skincare brand, and then left, got with Mindvalley, struggled for about 6 months working on just failing everything all over the place, turning over every single stone I could, cracked some big campaigns, incredible, right? Now we're doing a new startup. Guess what? You can't just leave the phase of trying to figure out who's going to buy this, what's the angle, how we're going to do this, how we're going to do the ads. You can't just get out of there. It's something you have to go through. And true success is the Thomas Edison quote at the end of the day. That is the only path. It is constantly never ending, finding out what didn't work and working on getting that new idea. The best, most important part of this whole thing is being able to brainstorm a new idea. It's almost like the universe is asking for something bigger from you, from something bigger that can make this thing come to reality. And it's asking for a further evolution, a further way you can expand on what you have. It's just so important that you don't give up and just drop the whole thing, because you just got to know, like, you just can't give up some of these kind of routes. If you are following intuition, right, which is what I recommend, I have God's plan tattooed on my arm because that's the most important path that I can follow. And if you're following a road like that, where you feel like this path is divinely given to you or whatever, which is kind of weird to say, but that's what it is at the end of the day. Your divinely intuitive vibe should be the path that you're going down. That's how you're going to live the most fulfilling life. If you're going down that road, then there is an evolution the universe is waiting for you to happen to. And a lot of times it does take time to grind. A lot of times it does take time for you to create it. A lot of times you don't even know, but the universe is giving you the story, right? All this crappy stuff that's happening to you is the story you're going to be able to use to relate with people in the future at the end of the day. So it's funny how the universe works, because a lot of times it wants a story. A lot of times it wants to see what happens to you, and a lot of times it wants to see you kind of work. And really, the hard work is really what makes it super abundant, for at least for me. When you crack it, right? It's that hard work story where you're like, man, I really earned this thing. Man, I really deserve this. I really put my heart and soul into the whole thing. Now, you don't have to put your heart and soul into things to deserve success and financial abundance. But at the end of the day, a lot of times with Thomas Edison, the guy needed to crank out 10,000 light bulbs over and endlessly. And the most important part is when after he did the 1,000th one, he had to think of the next way. So that's why journaling is so powerful. Some people go on walks, some people drive cars, whatever, meditate, whatever can get that next intuitive download. And also, more importantly, being able to hold that state. If you guys are wondering what I study these days, all I study basically these days, most of the time, is like Neville Goddard, like manifesting stuff, which is like holding the state as if you already have it, because when you're in that state of abundance, vibes, prosperity, feeling great, that's when your TV antennas in the back of your brain are able to tune in, and you'll receive just a flash of an inspiration of another thing you can try, another move you can make, another pivot that can be had that can move you towards that the right direction, right? What you don't want to do is get stuck in this negative energy that's radiating negative energy back out to you, because that's going to suck it back to the universe. You never want to be saying the word need. You never want to be saying the word want. You always want to be constantly refocusing your brain on the life you're creating, right? Like, one of my affirmations right now is, thank you for the 400% ROI at $2,000 ad spend. I put $2,000 in, I got $8,000 back. I know from scaling monster campaigns, that is if I'm targeting broad, that is the point of no return. If I spent $2,000 and got $8,000 in sales, this is a complete gangbuster and we're all going to the moon, right? So that's my tipping point that I have. So every day and this isn't easy. This isn't every single day, right? But I always go myself back into this state of like 400% ROI, 2000. Thank you, God, for this happening. My editing team is incredible. Media buying team is incredible. Going over the specifics of everything. I just worked with a manifestation coach on attracting the one, and part of the task is, if you ever tried this, you have to write down a list of everything you want in a person. Same thing with the business. You have to write down a list of everything that you are creating with this business that you're building, and the ideas will start to begin to come to you. So if you're going through a hard time, I like to listen to Neville. Try giving Neville Goddard a list. He's one of the greatest manifestation teachers of all time. And focus on that life you're creating, and start waking up at 5 a.m. and turning that wheel and getting that thing done, and just keep the progress going. And eventually you're going to crack it, right? The universe will let go, and it'll give you that win you're looking for. See you later.